You guys delivered on this one, Jesus Christ. What's going on, guys? Smarty here, and welcome to another episode of Ask Smarty. Now, of course, you guys asked a bunch of questions on Twitter and stuff like that with the hashtag AskSmarty, and I will deliver because that is my duty as a YouTuber who likes to answer questions for you guys. So let's get right into it. 1D Pix and Shiz asks, do you like butts? Well, Lauren, as it says on your Twitter name, I do in fact like butts, and I cannot lie. All you other Twitter users cannot deny that butts are nice to touch. That's really the best way I can put it. Ajax55 and Master Dave 16 basically asked the same question here, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna answer them both at the same time. If you could experience a game, or if you could erase any memory of a game and play it back like it's the first time, what would it be? I would say I would probably go back and play one of two games. One, Shadow of the Colossus, because that was an experience in itself. Like, if you've never played Shadow of the Colossus for the PlayStation 2, pick it up on PlayStation 3 in remastered mode. It's really good. It's quite the experience when it comes to the story and the gameplay and whatnot. I did a review of it a while back. Other than that, I would say BioShock Infinite, because BioShock Infinite was one of those games where I enjoyed the story from the word go. Like, literally when I started that game up, I was so enthralled in the story that I just had to play it all the way through. And the ending was so fucking worth it. The Mistress J asks, what is the square root of pi? Now, I'll be honest in saying I am not a math guy, so you know what, I'm gonna just Google that really quick. Alright, and my computer just crashed. Thanks a lot, Jillian. I very much appreciate that. Oh, would you look at that? Chilly Willy has a question for me this time around. So, Chilled asks, would you ever consider leaving the state, or will NY always be your home? So let's start it off like this. No matter where you live, whether it be shitty or not, that place is always going to be your home. That's how I always feel. Wherever you were born, obviously, that's kind of your roots, so to speak, and that's something you should always respect. However, I would absolutely love to move out of state. Like, I have a couple places in mind: Seattle, California, Colorado. Cause you know I gotta smoke all that dank weed, son. God damn it. Okay, so let's continue on with this. But to answer your question, yes, I'd absolutely love to move out of state. It's just I don't have the funds to do it. Mr. Blaze Chris on Twitter, he's one of my patrons, asks, how do you deal with stress?
So I sat down in my sadness beneath your window.
That's a tough question. Stress can get the better of me. As you guys know, I kind of have like a serious thing with anxiety. I don't know where it necessarily came from. I assume it came from all the YouTube crap and just college and work and all that stuff over the years. But when it comes to stress, normally what I try and do is I try and remind myself of the better things that I enjoy: playing music, watching movies, playing video games, stuff like that. Or if anything, I try and take all of that stress and like compartmentalize it into writing, and I kind of like take that and just exercise all of my anxiety and stress into the content I'm making and make something cool for you guys to be like, hey, you see all this negative shit? I made that with it. I made it better. So let's see if this works with some of the new videos I'm putting out. The Official EM asks, favorite game of all time? Oh god, favorite game of all time? That's gonna be a toss-up. Well, currently, I would say, in regards to recent games, Overwatch is slowly becoming one of my favorite games of all time, just because of how fun of a multiplayer game that is. Like, I'd never expect a Blizzard game like that to really take over my life, and it fucking has. But in regards to, like, all time, like, if I'm thinking, like, every single aspect of the game made me love it very much, I would say Fallout 3 is still a contender for my #1 game of all time and would always love. So go with that. Close second would probably be Shadow of the Colossus. So to end this episode off, we're gonna go a little real with this. We're gonna give ourselves a little bit of a real talk. Midnight Moon 11 asks, if you can go back in time and give your younger self advice, what would it be? If we're gonna go back in time, I'm not sure exactly where in the timeline you want to go with this, but I figure what we can do is we can talk to my high school self and tell him some good shit that we need to remember here. So let's go back in time and figure that out. Hi, John. It's me. Yeah, I know. This is not something you expected at all. Anyway, so first off, I just need you to know things are gonna get better in high school. Just because your friends are going to be leaving next year because they're older than you does not mean you're not going to see them. Don't give a shit about what anyone tells you or says to you if they're insulting you and whatnot, because none of this right now matters years down the line. Maybe you'll meet some friends from high school, but I'm gonna just be honest with you, this should not affect your life as much as you think it's going to affect your life right now. So please, consider the fact that you need to get your education good and have some thick skin ready, because trust me, when you get on the internet, you're gonna need it. Anyway, with that said, that's another episode of Ask Smarty. If you liked what you saw, please hit the button down below that says subscribe, or like the video, or comment. Either way, if you want to get involved in the next video, please do me a favor and make your comment with the hashtag AskSmarty, and we'll go from there. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. This is Smarty, signing off. Have a good one.